got ourselves Khal Drogo over on Team 1 as a Windwalker Monk. We got ourselves Kaiden over on the Team 1 together with Koopa as sticking to the Outlaw Guns. We got ourselves Naze, and we got ourselves the Blank as a Tauren. Shadow Priest, he got glasses. I really wish I could see his Mog, but in a full shadow form, it is difficult to see. Gonna be the Warsaw versus Beggar as Beggar. Oh, my favorite Mog of you, fam. I'm a big fan of this Mog, dude. I think it's so chill. 9 feet burst under the Blank, gonna trick it out of it. Got himself Kyrian burst. Wait, what the? It's a Kyrian Shadow Priest? What is going on? He almost blasted Beggar out of the game. Huh? This man playing Kyrian, that is crazy. Beggar does dive into stealth with the Cloak of Shadows. Vendetta already burning on the Blank. This man was able to take the aggression of Beggar, pop himself big Vamp Embrace, Trinket, go for the big Kyrian, and blast damage so hard into Beggar. He literally healed through the damage taken. That is incredible. Sepsis big burst is going to be a disperse. Oh my goodness, that's Sepsis burst out of Rogues. That's even the nerf tier set. And this man was at least able to stall. He can't even heal past it. He's just able to stall some of the damage of the Vendetta. Just some of it. He's still taking a good portion of it, though. It's still a scary situation. Gonna be a full PI for Blank. Potentially could maybe get some pets. Beggar getting hit with a stun. Could shrink out of it. Gonna be full dots up. Blank does it go for the biggest go possible. Potentially could be a fear. Worst up, Boon of the Ascended. Big burst of the Beggar. Does have a Cloak of Shadows. Trying to see maybe if he might be able to get himself some big AoE. Trying to get him maybe a big heal. Potentially big blast of the Beggar. Does get a shut their own shadow. But he still has Arcane Cast. Gonna be a Kid Shot. Gonna be Trinket. It's gonna be a big creating explosion. Does do a bit of damage. Beggar get hit for the Void. Tauren attached to him as he goes behind the pillar. It looks like he consumes yet another Warlock Hellstone. Vendetta, not back up for the Rogue just yet. Gonna be a Trinket for Blank. Decide, you know what? I'm just gonna go in. I'm just gonna go use Burst. Gonna be Void Eruptions flying, but nowhere near Beggar. Blank might end up picking up the eyes as the Rogue does go for a Sap into a Garrote right after. Fear by the Priest, no Trinket by the Rogue. Cloak of Shadow is not available. Blank could potentially have a go. Vendetta is back up. Likely Sepsis as well. Probably Kidney Shot on top of it. Blank is definitely going to have some kind of a go here. Going to be a Disperse immediately, but the Dampener finally starting to roll in. So the Dampener is going to play against Blank. Cheap Shot after the Disperse. Potentially even Garrote. Going to be AoE stun for Blank. Does get himself opportunity to catch up a little bit of a hero heal or two. Still a little blown hell. Get interrupted. No! And the Shadow Priest trying to do the very best he can as a Kyrian. But Beggar does end up getting that quick interrupt on those heals. He just tried to maintain the damage after the Sepsis, after the Vendetta, trying to keep the dots rolling, knowing that a Disperse is going to happen. And Khal Drogo is going to be up next versus Beggar. Trying to see if he can set up a bit of a port. Beggar back into the cell. Just melted that guy out. I was really excited to see the potential damage of the Shadow Priest, but that Rogue versus Shadow Priest, like, their cooldowns all land perfectly. Every time the Kyrian bursts up for the Priest, the Rogue has a Cloak of Shadows. Every time the Rogue has a Vendetta Sepsis, the Priest has a Disperse. So it's like perfectly counting each other until one of them makes a mistake or one of them makes a perfect play and catches a quick, like, lucky interrupt, or at least maybe planned. I don't want to say lucky in like a bad way. Lex sweep on the Beggar. Potentially big damage on Khal Drogo. Looking to shut down Beggar right now. Does he have the biggest goal? That's going to be Trinket for Beggar. Trying to see if he can get out of there. Does Khal Drogo have any damage to follow up? Another BDB down. Trinket side of Beggar. It's going to hit with a spin to win. Trying to go for shot about last second. At no health at all. Are you kidding me? Beggar looking for that full-on reset. And Khal Drogo, he doesn't have any dots. Beggar actually gets to a clean one. Should be able to maybe get himself a sit pick up. His hand's doing something. He just put his hand behind his back, like maybe trying to take something and then point it. I don't know what he's trying to do. But he does escape that burst scot-free. I am amazed. Was that even Trinket burned? Was that just him surviving and then shot him in the last second and then just stealthing out? Monks don't have any dots, so the fact that if Khal Drogo had any kind of dots rolling on Beggar, he definitely would have gotten him out. Quick Sap guarantees him an opportunity to grab himself a quick first aid, recovering as much health as possible. As Beggar jumps back into the cell, has a Vendetta back up. Khal Drogo does not have a Trinket. Beggar could actually have himself the biggest go possible with Sepsis. If he can just get himself an opener, go for a quick couple of dots, full Kidney Shot onto Khal Drogo, full Vendetta Sepsis, this could just melt the guy out. He is playing an Orcs. He's not going to sit stuns long at all, so you got to make sure to land a full Kidney Shot into the guy. There's going to be Garrote. Khal Drogo better have a response, but likely expect some big bursts out of Beggar. It's going to be disarm for disarm, at least denying defensive fury for Khal Drogo, but it's going to be BDB down. Lexup, Beggar does not have a Trinket. I think it might be over for Beggar, unless he somehow escapes it. Does he have a mark for that Kidney Shot for Khal Drogo? Just have a go? No, he had evasion, but he thought maybe like, you know what, I can sip a cup, maybe I can escape. I don't think he expected for the burst to get that high. Fake Tags are going to be up next. over for the team 2 as we hit in the 8-minute mark. So far it's just been like what, 2 dudes playing on each team. It's been the Shadow Priest on team 1 and Beggar on team 2. Finally Khal Drogo, Taxi are able to play against one another. Quick and cap, Taxi does run the resolve trick, so for Khal Drogo he's not going to be able to go for a leg sweep. Fear onto Khal Drogo's burst. The images are continuing to do some damage though. The Zoen is also doing quite a bit of damage. Taxi is using those images to get a couple more agonies rolling so that drain life with the agony talent is able to stack up with even more damage quicker. Khal Drogo trying to re-engage back with Taxi. Curse of Exhaustion is going to slow him down. Quick board, get on top of Taxi, going to be that soul shape. Trying to see if he can create some space between the two. And Khal Drogo going for a Vivify. As Taxi swings around, catches a quick drain life. Khal Drogo going for healing. So is Taxi. Go both on going for a bit of a reset. Lexu by Khal Drogo trying to go for some damage. BDB proccing, or maybe actual BDB getting used. Going to be Taxi dropping down, potentially as a port. Khal Drogo is going to jump after him, trying to get some damage in through the dark pack. And Taxi is trying to keep him out in the open. Fear onto Khal Drogo. Full doubts are available. Khal Drogo no longer has a trinket. That's going to be full drain life. That's going to be lots of damage. And Khal Drogo is looking for the reset. Vivify is getting spammed up. He's just looking for that health recovery, trying to get himself nice and healthy before re-engaging back with Taxi. And looks like Taxi is burning all the cooldowns out of Khal Drogo. It's going to be Karma. That's going to be a Ford Brew. That's going to be Dampen Harm. Trying to reduce as much damage as humanly possible, but that's a lot of cooldowns getting used. Lots of high CD cooldowns getting used. I think Dampen Harm is a 2-minute, but Karma is a 1.5. Khal Drogo making the call to roll, but I think overrolled there, allowing Taxi the opportunity to get the full UA into Khal Drogo. Taking a bit of damage, no flesh kept available at the moment. And Taxi with a Mortal Coil. Yet another Fear. Able to soul rod, fully dot him up and everything. Could ward away. It's going to be dots extended. Lexi but attacks him, but Khal Drogo is just going to melt to dots. He had him exactly where he wanted him. I don't know if he had to go for the dark pack there, but dark pack being on 1-minute CD, you might as well use it. Going to be swapping out to the Incubus for the next setup, boys. It's either going to be Naze up next, who's going to be one of the rogues. It looks like it's going to be Koopa. Get himself a chance for a bit of a rematch versus Taxi. Taxi walking into this duel down on one of the offensives and one of the defensives. Sap and Taxi, it is going to force out Result Trinket. You better sap him again to proc the Result Trinket. No, this is not going to go for it. Instead, going to be the Incubus hitting Koopa with a CC. And Taxi is going to get some dots to the Koopa. Is sacrificing some of his sacrifice pet talent damage, but he is gaining a lot of CC. Big port as he gets in with a kidney shot. Koopa potentially going to go for a Door of Shadows, trying to reconnect with Taxi, able to maybe get some damage on procs versus Taxi. Could potentially go for the full Ventia burst. Taxi with the end on the board. Now the Warlock I don't think has any more mobility unless he goes for Soul Shape. Koopa could still make a play here. Fear is going to get hit with the UA. Full Flagellation burst. Cloak of Shadows, full burst. Taxi can't really do much except Soul Shape out of it, but Koopa can keep on him. Kidney shot. I think it might be over. Taxi wall, dark back, everything going to use. Koopa trying to see if he can burn through him. It's going to be quick Fear. Banished by the Rogue. As he's trying to see if he can keep himself elusive from the CC. Going to be Soul Rod, dots and everything. Taxi could potentially go for a big drain, big damage, massive pistol shot. Oh, Koopa charging on him and just slamming the guy down. That's how the Rogue ain't going down that easily. Aegis Trinket to try to see if he can live through the dots that have been established on him. And the Aegis is doing a good job of absorbing a lot of the damage slowly but surely. Koopa is taking some of the damage to his health bar. And Unlucky then is giving Koopa an opportunity to get himself a proper reset. He didn't really walk up to him, do any bow or anything, but he did kind of hang out himself, wear him back and forth, waiting for Koopa to catch a proper reset. So Unlucky then is at least giving him somewhat of an honor duel. Sap and Kaiden is like, wait, where are you going? I think he's just spamming the Sap macro. That's what he's doing. If Koopa is careful, he would have seen that Sap. Would have known that that's where Unlucky then was. He's right behind him. He's right on top of him. Is going to AO him out. Get a shot for a gouge. It's going to be tricking for Unlucky. Trying to see if he can take down Koopa. Not even going to give him a chance. Trinket it just so he can take him out. That was really ballsy. Unlucky then. I mean, it's going to be unlucky if this man dies without a trinket now. The dampening against the 54%, I guess he's trying to play against Affliction Warlock, so he's deciding, you know what? I don't want this guy healing a ton. Dark back, it is going to be heavily reduced. 55% dampener, wall, Naze using everything just to survive this burst. That's going to be unlucky, getting hit with all the CC in the world. Has a cloak if he wants to. Naze popping off every cooldown possible. This one unlucky, either needs to commit and just take out Naze before the cloak. Does burn the cloak, that's going to be burst towards Naze. And Unlucky is going to get cheap shotted by Kaiden. Not going to give him an opportunity to get out of there at all. With the grenade trinket on top of it, there's no way. At least he was able to go in aggressive and get a kill on the Warlock. And now Kaiden gets a chance to play the game. I think at least there's that. Gonna be the AoE, does get him out in the open. There's gonna be a Shadow Strike out of the advantage to reconnect with Kiosko. Quick blind onto the Hunter, does not have a human racial anymore. Potentially, if Kaido had himself a good setup, he could potentially be lots of bursts. It's gonna be full Q and go, potentially big setup. Kiosko super low, Turtle Shell last second, freeze the trap on the Kaido. He does end up not able to commit the rest of it, burst the rest of it damage to Kiosko, but potentially still has the calm points. Get a shot, or I mean, threats down to Kaido. I think it's gonna be over. As Kiosko does taking them out with Resolve Trick and Chakram. Just literally standing in front of him, not looking at explosions. Unlucky them with 2 kills. Taxi has himself a hell of a duel, but then apparently Koopa does end up overpowering the Dots on Affliction Warlock. He did go into Taxi down on CDs though, so maybe that's what really helped him. Let's get another duel going, boys, yeah? Let's get another duel going, boys.